What motivated you to teach? You're a very successful working actor, and how does the work that you do as an actor inform your work as a teacher?
I think. Well, first, that may be, help, whatever, useful, but for all of us is. One of my acting teachers at Juilliard always said, because we were all going out into the world and probably becoming waiters, so we knew that that's what was going to happen to us. And as he said, whatever job you get, make it the most important job that you're doing. And this is what we were saying, that whatever you do can actually enhance, can enhance the work as an actor. And I felt that. Teaching, first of all, it terrifies me. I think I get more scared teaching than I do acting or directing, and I'm scared before every class. Don't. She's in my class. So that's part of the reason why I do it. But I find that it's all part of the process, and my work has grown tremendously, I have to say, as an actor from teaching. And I always tell my students, I learn more from you than you do from me, ha ha. And so it's all part of the process for me. And like I said, I had been doing these little sort of seminar stuff, and then somebody, a few people said, please, why don't you start your own class? And they were my first students, my pancakes that and that got me hooked. And I found that, like I said, it started to reflect on my work and as a director and an actor, and I love it, and I love the process of it, and I love helping people find their way in the process.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gerald, same question.
I think I learn, like he just said, I learn more a lot of times than my students do, I think, because, to teach is to learn. And to be able to teach them to do what I do and be that example, I know sheds light for them and it sheds light for me. It's no different than, you go to the gym and there's a trainer there that can't get off the bench who's trying to train somebody how to be healthy. Or you go to a voice teacher who can't sing, and they exist, So to be able to work with my students in whatever capacity is, and know that I have to be that example, and know that I have to be beyond what I ask for them. And I've been there and I've done the jobs and I've had to sing the shows for 2 hours at a time or whatever. So I feel like I can offer the experience to them in addition to the knowledge of just technique or whatever.
I just remember when when I graduated college, I had a lot of stage training and I had a lot of experience on a stage, but it's a lot different when we're trying to perform for a microphone. And I remember the first time I actually, it was Michael Orland, the guy who's on this American Idol, the accompanist. I sang into his microphone. He was like, "Can you hear how loud that is?" And I was just singing like I normally sang, and it apparently sounded really bad. So I had to kind of go through this like changing the way I approached singing for a microphone. And believe it or not, there's a big kind of difference about singing on stage versus singing in a booth or singing on a sound stage. So having gone through that process of really failing at my first time up in front of a microphone, he showed me and told me and coached me through it. And I feel like that's a really beneficial thing that I know that I could impart along to singers and non-singers. There's quite a bit of also just studio decorum and sort of studio culture, like things to do and how to ask for certain things and how to behave. So all that is really, it's fun to share that with people who are eager to learn.
And I'm an actor and singer, originally from New York. And I had the honor of meeting a Holocaust rescuer shortly after 9/11, and I interviewed her, and she passed away a couple days after my interviews. And I knew that I wanted to continue her voice and her story. She used to go to schools and synagogues and tell her story, and I knew that theater could continue her voice. And what I didn't know is that shortly after writing this play, it would take over about 3 years of my life, and I toured to schools and synagogues and Holocaust conferences, and we would have many survivors come, and they would just be releasing years of painful memories. And I didn't feel that I had enough training in how to facilitate these talkbacks. And so someone shared with me about drama therapy. And so I came out here to Los Angeles and enrolled in the Drama Therapy Institute and got certified in drama therapy. And now I've been working in not only within my theater company, but also I work at an adolescent treatment center 1 day a week. I work with youth that are struggling with addiction and things like cutting and things like that. And it's just been an unbelievable opportunity. Yes, so an RDT is a registered drama therapist. So it's a certification in drama therapy. And drama therapy is basically just the intentional use of drama to achieve therapeutic goals. So it just helps clients really use their own creativity to help them deal with whatever therapeutic challenges they're dealing with at the moment.
And then can you talk a little bit about how you found your way into drama therapy and then how your acting training informs that work?
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, it really was the work that I was doing with my theater company. I knew I just needed more training. We also went to children's hospitals, and there was a lot of parents that were grieving, and we weren't just doing shows, we were also trying to facilitate the grieving process for parents that were watching the shows along with the children. And my acting training, believe it or not, James up here was my acting teacher. And I utilized Meisner training. I was working with nonverbal, non-mobile clients and really trying to communicate with them only through eye contact. That was the only way we could communicate. And I utilized a tremendous amount of Meisner in just imagining that I was doing repetition with them. And it was unbelievable. I would just say things to them like, imagine yourself swinging and higher and higher and higher, and all of a sudden you could see these subtle changes in their eyes. Or imagine yourself lifting your arm, and you could see it very slightly. And what sounds like such a tiny, tiny little shift was just the most incredible thing. And yeah, so if I wasn't studying consistently and doing the work myself, utilizing Meisner never would have come to me in a therapeutic setting.